Okay, let's be honest. There are a lot of similarities between Anakin Skywalker and Rey. They're both great mechanics. They're both expert pilots. They both understand droid binary, and they seem to have a special relationship with droids overall. They're both skilled with a lightsaber, and both of them are extremely strong with the Force. They have so much in common that it has led people to start to believe that maybe Anakin didn't accomplish everything that he was meant to as the chosen one from the prophecy of Mortis. It is leading people to believe that maybe Anakin has some unfinished work. Maybe he didn't fulfill his complete destiny as the chosen one from the prophecy of Mortis. And this has led some people to believe that 11 years after Anakin passed on the second Death Star, that he resurrected or reincarnated himself in the form of Rey, who we see in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So let's take up that question. Is Rey the chosen one, or is she a different chosen one? Did Anakin leave work unfinished, and is Rey trying to pick up where Anakin left off? Hey Star Wars fans, my name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte, and it is my goal to build this urban acolyte community of people who really love the Star Wars universe and are inspired by the Jedi philosophy. So in this video, I'm going to take up the question of Rey being the chosen one for a second time, but this time I'm going to introduce a new twist. All right, so before I get to this talk about Rey being the chosen one, I need to go back and reference yesterday's video where I talked about the crazy fan theories in episode 8. And in one of those, there was the fan theory that Poe Dameron would become one of the Knights of Ren. And I mentioned the possibility of Poe being Force sensitive because in the Shattered Empire comic book, in the last issue, Luke Skywalker and Poe's mother, Shara Bay, travel to recover these Force trees that Emperor Palpatine had been hiding. And those Force trees are remnants of the tree that stood in the courtyard of the Jedi Temple. And I believe we actually see that tree in the episode where Anakin has his duel with Barriss Offee before Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order. It's also in Yoda's flashback when he's going through his trial to eventually become immortal or a Force ghost. So hold that thought about the Force trees, because this is where it's going to get crazy. So there's this fan theory, and I'm going to credit Stormtrooper Larry for presenting this, that says that after finding those Force trees, it leads Luke Skywalker on a journey to discover the origins of the Force and the origins of the Jedi. And that's what Luke is doing with his new acolytes and with his nephew Ben Solo. So perhaps one of the reasons Ben turns has to do with Snoke wanting in on whatever this secret is that Luke Skywalker is investigating. So when Ben becomes Kylo Ren, he loses his students. He continues, as we hear, to seek out the first Jedi temple. And there, Luke is exploring the origins of the Jedi Order and the origins of the Force, how the Jedi come to be. So when Rey finds Luke and begins training her, Luke, at some point in episode 8, this is a potential spoiler. Like I said, Rey potentially has psychometry, and her psychometric abilities may be much more powerful than what we've seen in Jedi Master Quinlan Vos. Apparently, there is a Force tree on Ahch-To at the first Jedi Temple, and Luke trains Rey to have a flashback, maybe by being in contact with that Force tree, and she learns the origin of the Force. She sees the story of a little boy and a little girl who notice that whenever they are around this certain tree on a planet where their parents are explorers, that they take on new abilities. They have deeper insight. They're able to do things physically that they aren't able to do. And it's always when they're in direct contact with the tree. What the sister notices is that her brother is able to become more powerful when he's angry. And so anger starts to guide the brother. And in the process, something happens. The brother doesn't understand why the sister becomes more calm, but she's still able to have the same power that he has when he's angry. He reaches up, he strikes out, and he kills his sister, right? And so we've got this Cain and Abel situation where a jealous sibling kills the other sibling. Well, as it turns out, the sister's essence is absorbed by the tree, and the brother realizes that his sister's, even though he killed her body, she's still alive. She's still there. So something happens. The brother leaves, the parents leave, the sister resurrects herself, and other explorers witness this event, and they begin to question the sister. She begins to teach them about the Force and how the Force is emanating from this tree. And so it's like we've got this Cain and Abel story. We've got this story of the world tree, Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. Of course, the world tree mythology is in many different native religions throughout the world. It's the Axis Mundi from Mircea Eliade, to be, to flex my religious geek stuff. But anyway, my point is that the Jedi, what Luke tells Rey is the Jedi for millennia believed that this girl who started the Jedi Order will come back. And that is the reason that they seek out children, so that they can find this girl and train her up in the Jedi Order that she started who knows how many years ago. So when the darkness starts to fall, the shadow of the dark side descends over the galaxy, and Qui-Gon Jinn locates Anakin Skywalker on Tatooine, and he encounters the Sith. The Jedi are more inclined to believe that this child, who is strong in the Force, who was born basically by a virgin birth, is that chosen one, that girl who said she could come back as a boy or a girl, or that she will return possibly. The one that they've been seeking is Anakin Skywalker. Now, George Lucas said that Anakin is the chosen one of the prophecy of Mortis, right? But the question is, what does it mean to bring balance to the Force? I've asked this before. Anakin destroyed the Sith, and this is what the Jedi believed that he would do. Many of them, he is the one who will destroy the Sith. But is destroying the Sith restoring balance to the Force? There can be many different prophecies about a chosen one. So Anakin and Rey can both be chosen people, the person of promise, but there are different prophecies that refer to who they are. And so we've got this situation where Luke may have learned of this chosen one, who is really the one who will come to restore the Jedi Order that they began who knows how many years ago. And he becomes this Obi-Wan person who's a hermit, waiting until the time that he can train the next New Hope for the galaxy, right? And I recall hearing J.J. Abrams say that Rey was going to have a bigger part to play in the galaxy as a whole, not just in the story of the New Republic and the First Order, or the fight between Luke and the Knights of Ren, like that battle, right? Rey would have a bigger meaning to the galaxy as a whole. This is coming from Abrams and the crew, the people that are in charge of the movies. So I'm not saying that I buy this fan theory, but it is very interesting. The whole idea that Rey is a reincarnated person. Rey is the first Jedi who has rebirthed herself, basically, And that is why she has no memory of her family, and she believes something went wrong that she ended up on Jakku, and why she dreamt of the island where Luke is, because that is, or the planet where Luke is, because that is the planet where she died, resurrected herself, ascended, and is supposed to return to complete her training. That's a straight up that's a straight up Jesus reference. But you know, Anakin could have been a Christ-like figure. Now we've got Rey, and it's like straight out of the Gospels, straight out of Norse mythology. And I don't know. I'm excited. This is crazy. So I've talked long enough. I would like to hear from all of you. What do you think about Rey being a different kind of chosen one? Do you buy this story of the origin of the Jedi and the origin of the Force, and Rey being the first Jedi who is returned to restore the Jedi Order? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. In my next video, I plan to take a look at Kylo Ren, and I'm going to answer questions from my previous video I did on Kylo Ren about how he could bring back the Sith Order. And I'm going to get more into the details on why I think that might happen and how he could do it. And while you wait for that video to post, make sure to go back and check out my series on Rey's vision. Well, that's all I've got for now. So thank you for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the Force be with you. Bye.